OpenAI just published a 112-page governance framework. Is this genuine transparency or just regulatory theater?
Genuine, but not for the reason they are saying. They are building the compliance document that every other lab will need to produce by end of 2026.
Hold on, you're saying this is not about safety, it is about getting ahead of a regulatory deadline that applies to every major AI lab?
Both. That is what makes it significant. The EU AI Act requires disclosure of safety practices for general-purpose AI models above a capability threshold. OpenAI is not doing this out of goodwill.
So the safety claims that used to be marketing are now becoming legal documents. That changes what responsibility looks like for a company like this.
Every claim in that document is now a regulatory statement. If they say they do X and they do not do X, the fine is 35 million euros or 7% of global turnover. On May 28, 2026, OpenAI published a document it had never published before. A governance framework. 112 pages of how it handles catastrophic risks. Nobody asked for it. The law did. California Transparency and Frontier AI Act and the EU AI Act Code of Practice for General-Purpose AI both kicked in this year. Both require disclosure of safety practices. OpenAI had a choice. Comply quietly or get exposed. Chose to get ahead. The framework covers 4 catastrophe risk categories. Cyber offense. CBRN meaning chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear. Harmful manipulation. And loss of control. Each section explains what OpenAI does and does not do. Every gap is acknowledged. Here is what nobody expected. This framework is not just compliance. It is a competitive weapon. By publishing their safety architecture before any law forces them to, OpenAI is setting the standard that regulators will copy and competitors will have to match. The fine for non-compliance with the EU AI Act is up to 35 million euros or 7% of global annual turnover, whichever is higher. For a company doing 50 billion a year in revenue, that is a $3.5 billion fine. OpenAI spent years arguing that safety required secrecy, that revealing too much gave bad actors a roadmap. Now it is publishing 112 pages of exactly that. The question is, what changed? Anthropic and Google DeepMind will face the same requirements by end of 2026. The EU AI Act applies to any general-purpose AI model above a certain capability threshold. Every major lab is now building their version of this document in secret. In January, nobody thought OpenAI would publish a safety governance document. Today it is a competitive advantage. The company that argued secrecy was safety just made transparency a business necessity. AI safety is no longer a values question. It is a regulatory category. Companies that treated safety as marketing will have to treat it as compliance. The frameworks that survive are the ones built before you needed them. The next time OpenAI publishes a safety claim, remember this document. Every word is now a legal statement. Every gap is a liability. The age of trust me safety is over. The age of documented safety has just begun.
Compliance theater or not, that document is now a legal boundary. If you want the next one before it makes the news, subscribe.